Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode. I haven't been on camera in probably about a week or so. I've been waiting to actually get another car in to work on, and today we are going to be working on that. If you guys have seen the thumbnail, you already know that we're going to be doing a clutch in this car, and super excited to kind of get it going so I can get working on Sapphire once again. But this video is going to be this 2015, well, it's a 2016 WRX, and we do have some parts that we need to do with it, mainly a clutch. This guy said that he's having some, I don't know, it was, so it's really weird. So I guess he had his 6-speed had to get rebuilt or something like that. And while it was at the shop getting rebuilt, they put a stock clutch back in, and it was already halfway toast. So I don't know why they did it. All I can tell you is it's probably not the best idea. So anyway, he bought himself a brand new clutch, flywheel, and new pressure plate. So all that there. And he's got a Boomba, it looks like shifter bushings and something else. I gotta open up this. I want to say it's a shifter adapter or something like that. Yeah. Ka-chow. All right. So let's open this bad boy up. Oh, wow. Nice piece. Whatever it is. I think he told me it was something for the shifter, like a shifter adapter or something like that. So, oh, let me not mess with that. But it looks like a shifter adapter. I don't see, oh wait, yeah, here it is right here. Oh, it's a shifter plate, Boomba shifter plate, and then shifter busher adapters. So we're gonna be doing all this today. First thing first, I need to get this car in the air, and second thing I need to do is I'm gonna need to get my transmission jack out of the corner over there. I do have 2 sets of wheels in the way. I do have a what do you call it, a bunch of stuff just piled up over there. I have the another Evo 8 2.3 liter stroker sitting in the corner over there. I have a lot of stuff. It's just sitting in the corner, so I gotta move all that stuff. But this is the car, like I said before, 2016. So this will work for a 2015 to, I think, 2021 or 2022 WRX. They're all the same FA20 engines. This one has got an intake, and it's got a front mount. I think it's got a couple other small things, but yeah, I think that's really it. So let's get this thing up in the air, and let's start rocking some stuff out. You get a good picture of what we're gonna do, because first thing we're gonna need to do besides getting it up in the air is getting the exhaust off, because that will be in your way. So there's 2 different ways you can do this. One is easier than the other, but it's much more steps, a lot more steps. But since we're only doing a clutch and nothing else, I'm not gonna I'm just gonna pull the trans and do it like that. So anyway, yeah, let me set the camera up, get the car in the air, let's get it rocking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks, so we got this bad boy in the air. Let me get my light over here. Excuse me. All right. I love this little light. I got it from Amazon. It's like $20 or something like that. All right, so this thing gives off a lot of light. Okay, looking at this bad boy, you know what's crazy is that I haven't really been underneath one of these things in a long time. Since I had Dan's up in the air when we did his when he did his built motor. It was a while ago. But anyway, looking at the transmission on this thing, it is not that beefy. I'm not even gonna lie. Some people say that it was it's because it's a 6-speed that it's going to be as strong as an STI. It is definitely not. Like, you can definitely tell, like, it is definitely a smaller unit than the STI 6-speed, that's for sure. It doesn't have a DCCD, you know, viscous cup link in there. You can't see the bands or anything like that, so this should not be that bad to actually do. We will start by taking off the exhaust. So that right there, this bolt right here, I think is a 14, 2 14s in the middle here. So I will be describing some of this stuff, whatever we need to do, and we're just gonna get this bad boy done. Like I said before, should not be that difficult to actually do. But yeah, I just wanted to get an idea of what I was working with here, since it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually been underneath a you know, a WRX of this year, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna take that exhaust off, well, some of that exhaust. We're gonna let it down, we're gonna undo the starter. I'll show you where the starter is and all that types of stuff. And then does have, I thought that oh yeah, it does have a little bit of an oil leak. So I don't know exactly, you can see there's a little bit of an oil leak. I don't know if it's from the I don't know if it's from the, you know, this here, or if it comes from the top, the drain plug, or not, or from the top. But it's got a little bit of oil there, but not nothing too crazy. Been freaking walking in it, so that's bad. But anyway, all right, let me set the camera up. Let me get some new gloves, because my gloves are already ripped. And I do have my my stand here. I actually moved Sapphire's wheels over there to the corner. I do have my Volk GTCs over here. So yeah, I do have this bad boy out, ready to go. So this should not take me very long to actually do, but whenever I'm done, we'll actually go through and I'll actually update you with the times that we're looking at, and we'll get this bad boy done. So yeah, let me get my gloves and get the camera set up, and we'll go from there. Let's go. All right, people, so we're flying through this here. It's not really a lot that goes on here. So I got the mid pipe here off, and one thing that I have noticed here is that there were not metal gaskets here. Well, if there was metal gaskets, there was it wasn't really that good. So I'm gonna have to clean this off. So if you're doing this, just make sure that if you do have gasket material still on there, that you do clean it off. I do have new gaskets. The rear, I just need to clean it off, and I can reuse this gasket because it is metal. So that one is pretty good. I actually do use these quite a bit because they are 4 layer, I think 4 or 5 layer gaskets there. So I can reuse that if I needed to. I'm gonna see if I do have new gaskets though. I should, but we'll have to see. But next thing we'll have to do is we're gonna have to let this car down, and I'm gonna have to take off the starter and any bolts from the top. Oh my goodness. So one thing I noticed, look at this. Can you see that? The boot for the transmission is just not there. It's not on, it's not connected. So that's a little upsetting. I don't like that. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna work that. Well, I'm gonna actually like fix that, but I'm just saying. I'm just noticing these things. You know what I'm saying, people? But yeah. So let's let the car down. Let's get the starter off, and let's get any bolts that are up there. There should be 2 bolts besides the starter. I mean, the starter is 2 bolts, and then there's gonna be another 2 bolts at the top. So I should be able to do that. So And I'm gonna show you the difference between doing this on this car and what we got on an STI. And I'll show you that whenever I'll show you that whenever we get the transmission down, and I'll show you the difference between the two clutch types, because this clutch type is a push type clutch, and the STIs, even the GTR is a pull type clutch. So two different clutch styles, and I'll explain what they are, what the differences are, whenever we get the transmission down and out and we have the clutch off. So yeah, let's keep it rocking. All right, people, so I know that was a very weird angle here. So this is what I did. I took the pitch dog bone. I took the dog bone mount out. That was two 14 millimeters on either side of this bolt. It was a 14 millimeter up here where the pinch bolt goes, or dog bone goes. There is a 14 millimeter here, right here, at the top of the trans mount. And there was a 14 millimeter on the starter here, a 12 millimeter on the back of the starter back here, and then you have to pull out the starter, you know, the starter switch. I think that's really it. From the bottom, I'll get the other starter bolt. It is just easier. There's a lot more clearance down there to actually get that bolt. There is another bolt right here for the transmission. You can see that's a 14 millimeter as well, but I don't need to. I can get that from the bottom as well. So yeah, I think with everything out of the way. Oh yeah, the clutch slave cylinder too. Clutch slave was two 14 millimeter bolts that go right here. So yeah, with all that out of the way, I can actually get to the bottom here, and we can actually start doing this. We can actually start doing this from the bottom now. So sorry, like I said before, it was a weird angle. Hopefully that shows up good on camera. I don't know, because I'm at the top just trying to finagle some good views for you guys, so that like you guys can see what I'm doing. You guys know exactly how I'm doing it. But let me get this car in the air and we will continue our journey there. So let's keep it going. All right, ladies and gentlefolk, with this bad boy back in the air, next thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take out the starter. So look at how much more room we have down here. So I have a clear path to the 14 at the bottom there, and should be no problem. So getting that out should be no issue. Getting the 14 over here will be no issue. There should be, yes, there's two bolts on this side over here and two bolts on this side over here. So next thing after that, we will actually have to take out the drive shaft here. So the drive shaft comprises of four 12 millimeter bolts here. So just remember, every time, oh man, I hope like I got this in view here, but every single time that you take out a drive shaft, it is balanced. I will show you here quick. No, not really, because the e-brake is on, but it is balanced. So make sure you make marks here. I usually just like to marker one or two lines here, just to make sure that I know which way this bad boy is going. So this will be two 14 millimeter bolts at the center. I guess you want to say that the center shaft. and then this bad boy can come out with no problem here. So it's not going to be in the way of the exhaust, as you can tell, so which should be pretty good. So once we actually have that stuff done, we can actually roll up in here and we can get the shifter cables off. Shifter cables should not be that big of a deal. There's a 12 here, and there should be a cotter pin, 2 12s here that are going to be in the way, and then you have this one back plate back here, just so that everything can come off with no problem. So I'm just going to get to work, and yeah, we're going to get this transmission out in no time. So let's keep it rocking, people. Let's keep it rocking. All right, people, so I know it's a little dark underneath here, but I'm trying to get you as best of light as I possibly can here. But I do have the top bolt on this side out, the middle bolt on this side out, the starter out as you saw, and the top bolt from the bottom here out. So I do have the bottom 2 bolts left here. I do have the cradle for the transmission. I do have the drive shaft out. So the next thing I will do is start to get these axles out. So there is an easy way to do this, and as you can tell, the lower control arm here is held on by 2 bolts. This one here and this one here, underneath here. So you're gonna have to take off all of this bracing here, and the lower control arm, you know, the bolts will be attached here, and then you could just move the, you know, the whole wheel, tire, you know, strut assembly in and out as you please, along with the sway bar link. It'll all go in and out as you need, to give you the access to get the boots out, or to get the axles out. No need to take the wheels off. I've never taken the wheels off when I'm doing a clutch job on these cars. WRXs, they do have a shaft that goes inside the transmission. Some STIs do have a cotter pin that goes through, and it's like a little short stubby shaft, and they can actually just move out of the way. But this is a little bit more detailed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo all of this stuff here and then push these bad boys out. So let me get that done. I'll do that off camera. But yeah, it is all of these bolts here. So like a couple of these, they look like 17 looks like. And then the 2 control arms, if you saw from my last video, they were actually, they were pretty simple. Like I said before, pretty simple to actually get out. But let me get this stuff all taken off, and I'll show you what the end result is. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks. So that literally took me 5 minutes to do. So it is the back mount here. I'll show you all the bolts from the back mount and the 17 mil that was through there. So now this thing just wiggles. So you do that on both sides, and I'll show you here. Show you how much, see how much adjustment that you got. So now all you need to do is stick a screwdriver in here, pop that out, and you'll have access to the rest of this stuff. So I'm gonna set the camera up, and we're gonna continue on rolling here. And yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually do this real quick off camera. These couple 12s, and get the what you call it, the cables, shifter cables out of the way. So give me 1 second. I'll set the camera up, and we can continue this. 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks, so I have made a quick discovery here. So this is the shifter cable itself, the actual shifter cable. There is a reverse cable up there as well, but this is held on by 2 bolts. One is at the very bottom, like I showed you before, right about here, and the second one here, I'm trying to, the second one here is kind of hidden up the top here. So when it's on, it'll look like so you're not gonna really be able to see it, but it is up there. It is held on to here by a cotter pin. So you just pull that cotter pin out and you can actually get your shifter cable off. So the reverse cable, on the other hand, is behind this plate. So I took out 3 bolts. There's one here, there's 2 back here, and then there's one hidden up here. So I'm not gonna be able to get that with it tucked up underneath there. So I'm gonna have to actually like let this bad boy down a little bit. But the shifter cable itself for the reverse gear is here, 2 bolts, 2 12mm bolts. So I'm gonna do that, and then we can continue to rock on here. So I'm going to do these bolts here for the mounts. So it looks like 14s. This looks a little bit bigger, maybe a 17, and then I can actually get my my transmission jack over here and actually get this bad boy off. But yeah, let me set the camera up and let's start to get this bad boy rocking. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks, so what I'm doing is I'm just letting this bad boy kind of drip out a little bit. So what I did was I pushed these bad boys out, disconnected the drive shaft, or the axles, front axles, and I'm just letting this leak down just a little bit. I don't want you know, gear oil all over the place. So it's taking a little bit to actually get these bad boys taken apart. I did have to remove the inner tie rod in on this, or the sway bar link on this side. I might just have to do it on that side as well to move this thing out of the way to get the axles out. But I don't want a huge rush of gear oil just flowing out, and then I have to clean everything up. I have a little bit of a puddle here, but nothing too crazy. So give me a minute. I'm gonna let this thing continue to drip out. I might just see if I can't get these axles out separated, and then I could actually start to work my way into getting this transmission out of this car. So give me a minute. I will return in a second. All right, people, so let me show you where we're at here. So I'm definitely hung up on the there's 2 dowel pins, one right here, dowel pin right there, and one on the other side right here. So those things are holding me up just a little bit here. I will be getting this thing out. It's just taking me a little time, so I don't want to jiggle this thing like crazy and then worry about the camera next to me. So let me wiggle this thing out, let me get it down, and we can continue from there. All right, 1 second. Oh boy, so after about 20 minutes of messing with this thing and yanking on it real bad, I finally got the transmission out. So yeah, get this little do-hag here, do thing, just to catch any you know, gear oil that's coming out like excessively. But here is the transmission, and yeah, it should be pretty simple. So looking at the throwout bearing is a push style bearing. So when I say that means it doesn't click on to anything. So I'm gonna get the pressure plate out, and I'm gonna actually show you guys the difference between push and pull style clutches, because for a long time I had no idea until I really started working on cars religiously all the time, that I figured out which one was which, and if there was any benefits to either one of them, which there really isn't. But like I said before, let me get the 2 out, and I'll show you exactly what the differences are. All right, everybody, so I am I'm filming this after the fact, so it is a very, very long video. As you can tell, it started off as a 45-minute video. So I did get the car done, but this is where I'm gonna leave this part of the video off. Part 2 will start in a couple days, 3 days exactly, and we can get this bad boy finished. So stay tuned to that. It's coming. 3 days. Be patient. I'll see you then. Deuces.